Okay,
Here,
alrighty.
here we
What
go.
is happening, people? It
What
is
happened?
football time. Any day's a great day when football's on. Am I right?
Absolutely. Good thing that that's all happening. Appreciate you guys.
I'm glad that Trevor Lawrence is playing. Otherwise, this would have been maybe one of the most boring Thursday night football games of the year.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's definitely already questionable,
yeah,
personally.
yeah.
But what gets you up in the morning? You know?
What gets you up, guys? Let us know in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to answer your questions today. We'll be live all the way up until kickoff, and then we'll log off. But do us a favor, go ahead and smash that like button. It's a very simple way for you to help this channel grow. We appreciate you guys. We're on the road to 15K. You already helped us get to 10K this year. We really love you. Appreciate you. Thanks for the love, for the support.
All love.
So go ahead, hit that like button. Help us continue to grow here. All right, super chats will get answered straight away. Otherwise, we'll go in order. And the first one that I can see today is from Mr. Green. It says, any
As
kind
always.
of piggyback off the last question. Oh, there must be a question that we don't have access to. Do you see a question there that I can't?
I do not see a question, so you should definitely
I am
put your
sorry, Mr.
question
Green.
in.
I cannot see the first
in
question that he put there. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
the next one is from Akshay. Start 3 of 5. Olave, Smith, Watson, Flowers, Puka. What a place to be in, man. I
My
think it would
goodness.
be Olave, Smith, Puka for me.
Yes. Devonta Smith, Puka, Olave. Completely agree.
Yeah. My running back is currently Hall, Hunt, and JT. Have waivers for Foreman and Jeff Wilson. Is the running back room fine rest of season? Brees Hall, Kareem Hunt, and Jonathan Taylor. It's fine. You just have to hope that Brees Hall and Jonathan Taylor stay healthy. Patrick Mahomey, what is up, my man? He said, hey, guys, thinking about making this offer. I give
How
Terry
you doing?
McLaurin and Devin Singletary and get T. Higgins and Zach Charbonnet. I think this is a pretty even deal. I'll take the T. Higgins side, but it's
Yeah,
a
I'll
relatively
take T. Higgins.
even offer.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. Sports Recap says, would you guys trade Swift and Brian Robinson for Derrick Henry and Amari Cooper? Just got this offer. My running back room is currently B-Rob, Jacobs, Swift, James Conner. I don't love acquiring Derrick Henry myself. I do feel like he's a downgrade from DeAndre Swift, especially when you're looking for consistency.
Yep.
And
I would say no. I wouldn't be doing this trade. I know your running back room is, you're probably feeling comfortable, with Josh Jacobs, Brian Robinson. You have James Conner when he comes back. I'm just keeping Swift. Unless you really need to upgrade at the running back room, then if I am trading somebody away, I am looking for even somebody bigger, because I think you can get more for
yeah.
DeAndre Swift than an Amari Cooper, in my personal opinion.
Well, I love Amari Cooper. I think he's a good buy low right now, but I don't want Derrick Henry to be part of that deal. I just would want it to be someone else. So I hear you, but we're
Yeah.
both a no for now. Jordan Love or Brock Purdy this week? It's big cock Brock for me.
Yeah, give me Brock Purdy as well. I
Noah
completely agree.
says, one PPR, would you send Calvin Ridley for T. Higgins and Joe Burrow? For sure. Yeah, I would view
Yeah.
Calvin and T very similar rest of the year. I might slightly prefer Calvin. In fact, I do. But it's minimal. So to get Joe Burrow attached to it, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, completely agreed.
Gibbs or Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones.
Jones for
I
me
think
this week.
Yeah, if Aaron Jones plays, I'm really confident starting him with that matchup there.
Back-to-back
Um,
weeks or back-to-back days where he's practiced, so it's looking good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Lockett or Zay Flowers for my flex sport recap says. For me, I will be going on Lockett this
Same.
week, just based off the matchup.
Oh, actually. Oh, God, they're back-to-back in my rankings, man. I never know how to answer those questions where it's, like, literally right beside each other. I think Lockett has a higher ceiling, and Zay has a safer floor. That's the way I would approach that
Okay.
one. Because this Cardinals game, I've talked about in a video that's coming out soon. One of these Seahawk wide receivers are going to go nuclear this week. One of them. I just don't know which one. Whereas with Zay, I know he's going to be a fine floor play.
Right. Yeah, and hopefully it's not it's not Tyler Lockett not going nuclear. And for your sake there, sports recap. So hopefully that helps. Appreciate you. Sports spotlight. Start 2. Hollywood Brown, Christian Kirk, or Zay Flowers. Here I will be going Hollywood Brown and Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I'm with you there as well.
Christian Kirk is really close, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'll start those two. Donald Smith, T. Law if he plays, or Sam Howell.
It's
What
Hal
do you
for
think?
me, even with Trevor playing.
Yeah, yeah, it's really close for me. I have 2-3 spots in between Trevor Lawrence and Sam Howell. But what's crazy is just any given week, Trevor Lawrence can have that big game that we're all still waiting for.
Yeah, he definitely can. The only reason I'm going Hal is because we've seen the Giants give up big weeks much more often than the Saints. It's a much more difficult defense, and we know Sam Howell's not injured, so I'm still comfortable to start Trevor if he's your best option, but I think Howell's a good pivot for me this week.
Yeah, completely agreed. All right, next question here. Actually, he said trade away Olave for Waddle. I think it's a fairly even trade personally. I think whoever one you prefer.
Yeah.
But I think Olave is more crucial to this offense, unlike Waddle. That's how I would be viewing it.
Sure.
So hopefully that helps. Connor, pick 2, Taylor, Ford, Stevenson. Man, I feel like it has to be Taylor and Ford.
Okay.
Even though Jonathan Taylor has a terrible matchup. This is kind of what's been really difficult for me in my rankings.
For me this week, the way I'm approaching Jonathan Taylor is unless they say he's full go, then I'm going to look at what are my other options. And Stevenson and
Stevenson playing against the Bills.
Right now, I would go Stevenson, Taylor. However, if a report comes out that Taylor's still limited, I would then lean Ford. So Stevenson is the one that I'm playing this week. We heard last week that they planned on changing that offense before last week's game in New England, and it worked. Like, they were a better offense. They weren't great, but they were better. And that offense was essentially built around those two running backs. So, I'll go Stevenson there, but it's not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun, and this is why it's been so difficult because we are waiting for that report. So hopefully that helps. Purple Yoda, fellas, full PPR, Michael Thomas, Ridley, or Jameson. You start Calvin Ridley. No question about it,
Ridley
brother.
for me too, yeah.
Jimmy T, will Calvin Ridley put up more points tonight than Christian Kirk? I have Calvin and my buddy has Kirk, so I need you to say yes. I can tell you yes, but I can tell you my real answer would be I think either one can go off, and I feel more confident in Christian Kirk right now than I do in Calvin Ridley. But Calvin Ridley can have a 30-point game any day.
I'll say this: who would I prefer to have in my lineup tonight? Calvin Ridley. But who will score more points? That's the flip of a coin, baby. Who knows? Honestly.
Flip of a coin.
By the way, shout out to the 70 people watching the stream. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. Can you do us a favor as we help you set your lineups this week? Help the channel grow by just simply dropping a like. It's just a very simple way for you to tell YouTube that you like the content, and it just, in return, kind of pushes us out a little bit more. So smash that like button for us. Super chats get answered straight away. Otherwise, we're going in order from top to bottom. E. Galzara says, what do you guys think of Rashawn? Is he playing? And what about Deontay Johnson? Deontay's definitely playing. As far as Rashawn Johnson goes, it's extremely strange vibes. I can't think of a player, and let me know in the chat, guys, if I'm wrong. I can't think of a player that has been in concussion protocol longer, maybe outside of like Tua.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just I wonder if he's just not progressing the same way. I mean, 2 weeks missing off of concussion. The only other person I can remember outside of Tua is Sterling. He missed like 3 weeks with concussion one time in 1 year, which was terrible. It's definitely concerning because I have Roscoe and I need him to start.
Yeah.
But it's concerning also for health, right? Like, why is he taking so long to recover?
If he plays, I'm comfortable to start him. If you don't have a clear, better option, but
he could be progressing.
Deontay will play.
He could be progressing through the protocol. He's just not practicing.
Could be.
He could be saying, okay.
It's concerning when Deontay Foreman is a fine player to handle half the workload. I think there's a real potential that, okay, you haven't been practiced multiple weeks. We're trying to figure out this new week. It's a new quarterback. Like, I'm getting closer and closer to really adjusting my expectations, knowing that there's so much in the air with him. But
yeah, I hear you. So hopefully that helps there. Cold World,
Yeah.
Ward, excuse me, traded Ford for Higgins. So now I
Nice.
have Amon-Ra, Puka. Yeah. Any names you would say I can trade Godwin for or a running back too? I mean, we say this all the time, brother Cole. There's so many different options. Send us your trade offers that you have for Godwin, then maybe we could talk
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
going to be more helpful for you to
Um,
say, this is what I've been offered, and then we can give feedback. But I will say this. I really, like, Godwin has been someone I really liked coming in this year, but it's been really the definition of mid for Chris Godwin so far in fantasy this year. I do not believe anyone who's experienced in fantasy is giving you an RB2 for Chris Godwin this year. Could be
yeah,
wrong.
I would agree. Manny, Devonta Smith or Zay Flowers. Devonta Smith for me.
Yeah, I'm with
Came out
you.
and say he will play. Perfect Dawn, Curtis Samuel, Jordan Addison, Drake London. Pick 2 in the standard.
London Addison.
Yeah, really close with Curtis Samuel there. I'm thinking of those touchdowns that he's been getting.
Yeah, Jordan Addison,
But
you could say the same.
Yeah, in a standard, yeah, give me Jordan Addison and Drake London. Ace, good evening. Start Ford, Dobbs, or Osborne. I'll be going Ford.
Yeah, same. Good matchup.
Yeah.
Navin says Dobbs, Rasheed, or Wandale in my second PPR flex. Dobbs, Rasheed, or Wandale. This would be Wandale for me as well.
Close between Rasheed and Wandale, but give me Wandale.
Wandale for me. He says also, do you guys like Kirk or Amari this week? I would go Amari over Kirk. What about you?
Exactly. Completely agree.
Sets Dynasty 1 quarterback PPR currently 6-0 with the highest points for. Running back room is rough right now with injuries due to Connor and Chubb. Who would you start at running back, Dillon or Foreman? This would be, I expect Aaron Jones to play, and typically if he's playing, Dillon is not a good start. So it would be Foreman for me, especially with the unknowns with Rashawn so far this week.
Absolutely.
WG says, "What's up, gents? Thursday Night Football. Oh, and Zach and Badaki stream." That's right. A-Train. What's up, A-Train? Who's watching Gen V? Should I play? Have you been watching it?
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's quality. Should I play Ridley over London in a standard league? In a standard league, no receptions involved. That's very close. London plays the Bucks this week, which is actually a pretty decent matchup for wide receivers.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's a flip of a coin again, truly, but I would be going with Ridley.
Yeah, the standard is not that big of a difference, In standard, what I think about is touchdowns. They're both tied with 2 touchdowns at the moment.
Yeah, and yardage, and they both have had games, multiple games over 100. Well, actually, Ridley's had more games over 100, but
yeah. So I mean, it is a flip of a coin, kind of like what Zach said. I would go London because it's an easier matchup.
That's fair.
Quote unquote easier. Can't really be going against who's it, Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
So it's definitely gonna be a tougher matchup. So hopefully that helps you there.
Mike, what's up? He's showing us his team. He says, would you trade away Warren for Dobbs and Tank Dell? So he's got Bijan, Kamara, Warren, Rashawn. Honestly, I do love Tank Dell rest of season, but I think we have to value running backs a little bit more right now. For example, I was able to do a deal, but you saw this in our home league. This was last week before his first touchdown, where I sent Warren in a package with Gus Edwards for Zay Flowers. Like, that's the kind of, if I'm moving a running back that's startable, because it's tough right now, a startable running back, I want a noticeable upgrade to my wide receiver room. And I like Dobbs, I like Tank Dell, but I think you should be able to get more value and just do a 1-for-1 instead of these 2-for-1 deals. No, give me a more valuable wide receiver, 1-for-1. I don't want the depth, I want the value.
Completely agree. Sets also same dynasty league. Would you trade my 24-second for Ford? You're 6-0. You're competing. I think with the running back room that you kind of mentioned for this week specifically, that you have James Conner as well. I mean, I don't know if I want to give up my second just yet.
I would be more interested in acquiring like a superstar, like using a first rounder to can I get my hands on? Of course, it might cost more, but these are the players I'd be looking at acquiring. If you're 6-0, let's go all in. Like, let's go all in. It doesn't matter if you finish second place because you have a weak RB2 this year, you know? Can we get a McCaffrey? Can we get an Eckler? Can we get a Jacobs, a Kenneth Walker? Probably not going to be able to afford Bijan. Can you get an Alvin? Can you get a DeAndre Swift or a Saquon on your team? You know? I want to try a Jonathan Taylor. I want to try and kind of move my chips in if I'm 6-0 in that Dynasty League. But to me, it's like Jerome Ford is not someone that I'm thinking every week locked and loaded must start. He's a fine piece to acquire. But if you're 6-0, let's go get the whole damn thing, you know?
Yeah. I'm willing to wait, and then hopefully by that time, maybe in the next 3 weeks, you go 2-2. And then James Conner comes back, and then you have James Conner and
that's a great point. Like, are you ever starting Ford over Conner when he's healthy?
Yeah,
probably not, right?
So I would no, absolutely not. So then you have Foreman, Etienne, and James Conner when he does come back. So I'm not really panicking with your record at the moment. Hopefully that helps. Next question here: start Ridley or Laporta at flex?
If it's a tight end premium, which she says it is,
1.5 tight end premium.
Laporta.
Yeah, you start Laporta. Absolutely. Yeah. Michael Simmons, Ridley or Devonta Smith this week. Waddle's my other wide receiver. I'm going Devonta Smith personally.
Yeah, it would be Smith for me too. I want pieces in that matchup. Highest over/under of the week: Dolphins Eagles. I'm excited for that game.
Here we go.
Greg says start 2 PPR: Rashee Rice, Palmer, Samuel, Elijah Moore, and Wandale. For me, this would be Samuel and it's between Palmer and Wandale. Let me double check real quick, but I think it's Palmer. Yeah, Palmer.
Yeah, it'll be Palmer for me as well. So Curtis Samuel, Palmer, but really close with Wandale as the Commanders give the third most fantasy points to the wide receiver position. So keep that in mind as well. Kendrick Bourne thoughts. There's not much thoughts for us, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Not somebody we want to have. Not somebody we're comfortable rostering or starting.
He was fine last week, but that's because Juju was concussed. Juju is still limited right now. I don't know. It's not someone I'm very excited about playing.
Yeah, completely agree. Isaac, should I start Rice over Ridley? Start Rice over Ridley? No, I'm still starting Ridley personally. And is Jamal Williams a good pickup over Dell?
Not for me. I'd rather have Dell.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Dell. I would pick up Jamal though, just in case. The way the running back room is struggling. But it all depends on who you have to drop, and I'm not dropping Dell for that.
Yeah.
Keenan, what's good, fellas? PPR. Puka, Flowers, or Addison for flex. I got Tyreek and Cooper as my core.
Puka for me.
Puka. Completely agree. Houdini. Weenie. What's up, fellas? Lawrence or Watson? Or should I stream Carr last minute? Look, Watson did practice, I would say. Does he play? It's still in question. And I don't think you have enough information right now to start Deshaun Watson with confidence. I'm in that same situation. I'm going Trevor Lawrence. Well, it's a super flex league, so I have to start Trevor Lawrence and hoping that Deshaun Watson plays. But I don't have the information telling me that Deshaun Watson is going to play for sure this Sunday. So you have to go Trevor Lawrence.
If I knew Watson was playing, I would start him over Lawrence this week. But I don't know that, so you got to go with the guy that you know is playing. Watson or Kirk Cousins rest of season. We talked about this a little bit on the stream this week, but Cousins is coming up on a really rough patch. He's got the Niners this week, the Packers next week, the Falcons the week after, and the Saints after that. Those are 4 very, very difficult defenses. And he's got no Justin Jefferson. Now, in weeks 11 and 12, he gets the Broncos and the Bears. So it's great in weeks 11 and 12. Kirk Cousins is the healthy one, I really don't have a strong preference here. Like, I want to give you a good answer, but like my mind isn't lining up towards one person.
This is what I would say for me. I'm going to Sean based on the rushing upside. The first 3 weeks we kind of saw him coming to his own as well a little bit, then gets injured. Give me the rushing upside. Give me the guy that can, run the ball in occasions. Yeah. And I do believe Deshaun Watson will get better. He has overall, I guess, a better team right now he's on the field.
Can I throw a little wrench into these plans?
Yeah, throw it. I'm here.
Give me Kyler Murray over both. Kyler Murray, my biggest buy in Dynasty this entire offseason. All the talk about they're not going to play him. They want to tank. I mean, guys, these coaches are coaching for their jobs. Players are trying to get more money for their family. It is much more difficult to tank than people realize. This team wants to win. They want to know what they have in Kyler Murray. He'll be back soon. And when he's back, he's someone I'm definitely considering starting. And I talked about this a little bit on a video this week because he was my number one stash because he was available in over 80% of ESPN leagues and Yahoo leagues, which is crazy to me. He should absolutely be stashed. You know, typically an elite quarterback gives you a huge difference in your lineup. That's not been the case this year. For the last 3 years, 2022, 2021, and 2020, you've had a 6 to 7 point advantage over anyone who didn't draft one of those elite guys and had kind of a middle of the pack streaming quarterback. This year, that's gone down to about 4 points per game.
Here we go.
Now, if you take Kyler Murray's averages of his entire career, we'll even include his rookie season, okay, where he was quarterback 12 in points per game. If you take his points per game average in his career, he would currently be tied with Tua as the quarterback 4. So he is absolutely worth trading for. He's worth stashing. He should be rostered in 100% of leagues everywhere. And I'm excited to have him kind of just sitting on a couple benches where I went late quarterback and it hasn't hit so far. So anyway, no one asked, but I guess just a little nugget to throw in there.
No one asked, but here we are. Hopefully that helps there, Manny. Tam, does I need a flex and a wide receiver 3?
It's a Catalina wine mixer.
A Catalina wine mixer. I think for both of us would be Jacoby and Ford coming into this week.
Yeah. Is ETN a lock tonight, even with the tough matchup? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he's the only one that's been consistent on the team.
There's a chance he's a bust, but I genuinely cannot understand a scenario in which you sit him. Madison or London. This would be London for me.
London town.
Adam says fairly deep at wide receiver in terms of flex. Dell Pickens Rice. I just traded Lockett for Gibbs. Thoughts? You know, I have that offer in my inbox in a league, and if I needed running back depth, I would accept it. I'm in a position where I have a pretty good amount of depth, just guys that I'm waiting to get healthy. So I think it depends on how desperate you are at running back, but it's not a terrible deal for sure.
Yeah, I would take Gibbs if you are in need of a running back, but it just all depends on what you need, my brother.
We have a super chat, so let's get to that straight away. It's from Shane. Shane, thank you for your donation. He says, Flex, Williams, Downs, or Musgrave. This would be Josh Downs for me this week. I cannot tell you how much I want Jameson Williams to be in every single one of my lineups. I'm obsessed with this dude, but I can't trust him yet. He played 23% of the snaps. Whereas Josh Downs is, you know, the second favorite target. It's a difficult matchup, but I could easily see them second half of that game just kind of dumping it off the Downs out of the slot. So it'd be Downs for me.
Absolutely. I'm going Josh Downs. The toughest matchup so far, but give me Josh Downs as well. Thank you so much for the super chat, Shane.
Yeah.
Eric, also with the super chat. Thank you so much. Saying Ridley or Watson for flex here. I'm going Ridley.
Same.
I think Christian Watson is a close second. I think he's within that same tier. I think he should have a good game coming into this week as well, playing against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
But if you have to go Calvin Ridley this week, I don't know how you don't.
Yeah.
Personally.
I can see a scenario in which Watson in that matchup outscores Ridley. But hindsight is 2020. If we all had hindsight, we would all be, you know, undefeated. So with the information I currently know, I would be going Calvin at this point. But appreciate you. Hey, guys, we almost have 100 people watching. Can you do us a favor? Go ahead and absolutely abuse the like button for us. Just absolutely abuse it. Use and abuse it. Smash the like button for us. Simple way for you to help this channel grow. Let's get at least 50 likes over here. As we help you guys, you can help the channel grow. Drop a super chat if you want your question answered straight away. Otherwise, we're going in order here. Greg says, also, I got Breece and Tony Pollard on a bye. Start 2 PPR, Jaleel, Hunt, Jamal. This would be Jaleel and Hunt for me.
And Hunt, absolutely. I'm right there with you, brother.
Pick 2, Taylor, Ford, Stevenson. We already answered that one. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, didn't we already answer that?
Yes, we did, and we had a whole conversation that if it's going to be Taylor, tough matchup, Ford or Stevenson, yeah.
Sports says, appreciate you guys, no worries, thank you. Golfer Hal, I am going
I would be going Jared Goff this week.
Back to back in my rankings here.
I think Goff has just been.
It's an away game. I'm not gonna sit here and say Goff, can't overcome his historic home away splits, but I'm going to howl myself. They're back to back. It is so close.
Yeah, I'm going Jared Goff. It's been great so far with Jared, and I think it's going to continue, especially with Monty not being in the game. They might have to result in throwing the ball a little bit more. Let's wait and see what that looks like, obviously. So hopefully that helps.
Visalia says, what's your opinion on Rashee Rice? We like Rashee Rice. This is a player that, my stash videos have been doing awesome. You guys have really enjoyed those stash videos. And Rashee Rice is a guy that I brought in the first one, which is about 3 weeks ago now, telling you guys to stash him. A player that isn't playing a high percentage of snaps, has only played over 50% in one game this year. However, he earns targets on a low percentage of snaps. So targets are earned. We know that if you get up to being a 50 consistent 60, 70% snap player, you could have some serious value on a weekly basis in a very good offense. So yeah, I like Rashee Rice. He's a fine spot start and a good player to kind of hold for potential upside in the future. Any thoughts?
Agreed.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manny says start 3, Kupp, Evans, Flowers. I guess that's Jameson Williams, Devonta Smith, and Deontay Johnson. You got to start Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, you start Cooper Kupp, Zay Flowers, Devonta Smith for me. Those are the ones that I'm going with. Evans, I'm assuming is that Zach Evans or Mike Evans?
Probably Mike, but I'm with you. I would also go Kupp, Flowers, Devonta Smith.
Okay. Mr. Green, so the question that didn't appear at the beginning of the video was Pittman, Myers, or Deontay Johnson for the rest of the season.
Okay.
And out of the 3, which 2 would you package together for a wide receiver 2?
Okay. Rest of season. This would be.
This for me is difficult right now because we don't know what Deontay Johnson is going to do when he does come back.
He would definitely be my third of those 3.
Yeah. What do you mean?
As in, like, Pittman and Myers is what I'm trying to figure out right now, ranking them. But either way, they're 1A, 1B, and then Deontay is the last person I would rank of those 3.
And that's kind of the thing I was gonna talk about.
Okay.
Like I would want Myers and Pittman for the rest of the season, and Deontay, I just don't know.
But
we
also,
don't know what that's gonna look like.
Also, I would say I wouldn't sell Deontay right now because there's a chance that his value is increasing over the next couple weeks. So
exactly.
Hopefully that is helpful. Shane has a super chat, so let's get to that straight away. Thank you for the donation, man. He says, sorry guys, Jaleel or Downs? No need to be sorry. Jaleel or Downs? This is close.
I'm still going Downs. Full PPR.
I actually think Jaleel has higher upside. Packers, they sound like a tough matchup for running backs, but they haven't been so far.
Explosive.
They give up the 5th most points to the running back position. I think Jaleel is the upside play, and I would say Downs is the floor. So depending on what you're needing, if you need a bit more safety, you don't want to,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That's how I would.
Do you need safety? Do you need high upside? Whatever that looks like for you, I'm really okay. I think you're gonna comfortably see 8 to 9 targets, I would assume, for Josh Downs, the way how great this Browns defense has been playing.
Yeah.
Specifically the front 4.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to result in throwing the ball. So hopefully that helps, brother.
Thank you for your donation. Very kind of you. Again, guys, the super chats get answered straight away. Do us a favor, go ahead and hit the like button. Help us get to 75. We're currently 13 likes away from 75. We got enough people to get there, so go ahead and hit that like button. We're answering questions all the way up until kickoff. We'll go in order. Super chats get prioritized. Joseph, go ahead.
Joseph, who can I trade for Kyler Murray? I already have Hurts, Higgins, Diggs, Etienne. Okay. If this is a 1 quarterback league and you're telling me you have Jalen Hurts, you just don't need to. We wouldn't be trading for Kyler Murray.
And I know I just hyped him up, but that's for people who are like struggling at quarterback,
Yeah. Unless you believe in Kyler Murray more than Hurts, and you just maybe a Cardinals fan, whatever, Yeah. Hopefully that helps. South Sea 77.
South side?
South side.
29?
Really Puka. I'm going Puka.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
going Puka here.
Yeah.
Kirk
Kirk or
or
Lockett?
Lockett.
Lockett
I'm going
for me.
Lockett. Mm-hmm. Perfect Dawn. What do you think? Who do you think are good trade wide receiver targets for Devonta Smith? Kind of tired of his performance. Just looking for the options.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we always say. If you're trying to, guys, in general rule, if you're trying to trade players who are underperforming, it's not gonna work out well, right? I mean, it's easy to sell players who are doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be very easy to sell players who are underperforming, and if you do sell them, typically you're not going to get proper value back in return. So, general rule of thumb, we wouldn't. I just don't think you get proper value for him right now.
I agree. Nobody wants it. And I think there's a big narrative about Julio. You know, Julio's coming in. What's going to happen?
Yeah, which doesn't concern me one bit.
It doesn't concern me either. So, if anything, I think there's an opportunity for you to buy low.
Yeah.
Noah, Love or Lawrence. I'm still going Trevor Lawrence. Love has an amazing matchup this week.
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence is playing. He's gonna do what he does.
Love for me. He's got Aaron Jones back. He's finally got Watson fully healthy off of a bye week. Great matchup. It's close, but I'll go Love. Teabag says, for the first time ever, I'm gonna ask a kicker question. McManus of the Jaguars or Carlson of the Packers? Yeah, I have kicker rankings, so let me quickly. I don't get those questions very often.
I'm gonna go Carlson here. You know, Carlson for the Packers is actually Daniel Carson's brother.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Anders Carlson. Okay, this is very close. I'm leaning. When I think of kickers, there's a couple things I think about. Obviously, like what offense are you attached to, but also are you playing in a dome or not? I prefer my kickers in a dome. And we know that this is in New Orleans tonight, so I'll go with McManus. It's really close.
In New Orleans?
You got to kind of flip a coin on those. Roy, what's up? Standard pick 3, Ayuk, Amon-Ra, Waddle, and Addison. This would be Ayuk, Amon-Ra, Waddle for me.
Exactly.
Start Olave or Kamara for the flex? Jeez.
I just feel like Kamara has been more consistent.
He has.
That's where I would be going, but it's hard.
We also have Jamal Williams now. We don't know what that looks like.
True. I'm personally not concerned about Jamal. But yeah, I'll be going Kamara here.
I really struggle to think of a scenario where these guys both aren't starting for you, but I think Olave has the higher upside. I know that sounds a little bit hypocritical because he's not scored as many points as Alvin has, but I look at this matchup and that Jags defense against the run specifically has been really good this year. They've been okay against wide receivers. It's very close. I would find a way to get both those guys in your lineup, but I'll lean Olave as an upside play and Kamara as a floor play.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like a cop-out when we say that, but it's truly we just want to give you the best advice in the whole picture.
I think that's something that we do as well. Like,
yeah,
we look
totally.
at our lineups and ask ourselves those questions.
Start Hill. The only Hills I think about is Tyreek and Taysom, and I would not start Taysom. I would start Tyreek.
Or Justice Hill.
There is a scenario where I may have to start Justice Hill in a league this week. I don't want to talk about it.
Same. I have the same thing. I think it just depends on you start Tyreek Hill, you don't start Taysom Hill. You might have to start Justice Hill depending on your running back room. Ortiz family, so hopefully that helps.
We did just get a super chat, so let's get to that straight away. Thank you, Daniel, for your donation. He says, been cursed on Thursday night since week 4 last year, so I need 2. Addison, Deontay Johnson, Ridley Downs, Lockett.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, there's something. Anyways.
Yeah, Thursday nights, there is some weird juju on Thursday nights, but he needs 2. It would be Ridley and Lockett for me of the options he's presented.
I need to Addison, Ridley, Lockett. Yeah, it would be Lockett and Ridley for me as well. I would say a close second would be Jordan Addison.
Yeah, same. Just don't love the matchup.
Yeah, don't love the matchup there. So hopefully that helps, Daniel. Good luck on Thursday night.
I hope the curse is broken.
I hope it. I mean, I don't think it will ever be broken. I think it's every Thursday night.
Break the chains, brother.
It's either shit or amazing. Just like we saw, for example, like the Bears and Commanders. It was an amazing game for DJ Moore.
Yeah.
It's either really good or it's the absolute garbage that you hate that you started your week that way. Anyways, Miles, thank you so much for the super chat here. He says
Very
start
kind.
Baker or Carr. Thank you so much, man. I'm going Baker Mayfield here coming into this week. Don't love Derek Carr. Not that I don't
It would
love
be
him.
Carr for me. I hear where you're coming from. I would rather face the Jags secondary, oddly enough, than Atlanta's secondary. Okuda's really found his way, and AJ Terrell is kind of a true lockdown. I'll go Derek. I mean, 19 points in back-to-back weeks against New England and Houston. Baker is a little bit more boom-bust. So, and actually, the last time Baker faced the Saints, he scored 29 points. Which doesn't help us here at all in this conversation. It's close.
Right.
I'll
like
go
tonight.
Carr.
Right. I get what you're saying. But yes, I'm going Baker Mayfield. This is a divisional game. I think of that, Tampa Bay, oddly enough, always has an interesting way to go crazy in divisional games. And they're at home as well. So that could play a huge part of it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Back to the top
thank
here.
you. Very kind of you.
I think we left
Jake?
off with Jake, Christian, Kirk, or Watson rest of the season. 5-1, and I got offered Watson for Kirk.
I'd rather have Watson rest of the year.
I'd rather have Watson as well. Bohem has a buy low opportunity here. And one of the biggest things is that this team is getting healthy. Watson's coming back off a bye. So is Aaron Jones. When Aaron Jones is on the field, Christian Watson, stretches the field and has the more opportunity to get those big, deep passes.
You like
So
it deep,
hopefully that
bro?
helps. He likes it deep.
Who's starting Trevor tonight? People who have to are starting Trevor.
Yeah, I'm starting Trevor Lawrence tonight. I got him in multiple leagues, unfortunately.
Brett Maher or Brandon McManus? I love that there's kicker questions coming out.
Isn't Brett Maher on a bye? No, sorry.
No, he's with the Rams.
He's with the Rams now.
It's McManus for me, but close.
Yeah, it is close. Start Hill.
Logan Thomas or Musgrave? By the way, if this is Taysom, we're still not flexing him. Logan Thomas or Musgrave? This week, it would be Musgrave for me.
Musgrave. Yep.
Love the matchup for him. But it is honestly close. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way.
We're historically bad at tight ends, but we got Bobby now.
Yeah.
Bobby Okereke? Anyways, a whole different conversation. Come on, baby.
Caleb, what's up? He says, I got offered Amari for Deontay and Rashawn. Should I accept? No, I want Amari.
Agreed.
What's up, fellas? Thoughts on Kamara tonight with Williams back? Still a guy that I would label a must start, but I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Jamal is annoying for fantasy purposes.
Yeah, it would be interesting here.
Yeah.
What has we continue, I'm gonna look up some interesting stats here.
Okay, Gen V is great. I agree. Death Lord says traded Mike Evans and David Njoku for George Kittle and Tyler Higbee. Overall, I would prefer the Evans side. I don't understand trading for two tight ends. And Higbee in 90% of leagues is not guy that you're starting on most weeks. But maybe there's context I'm missing. Daniel says I traded Madison for Watson.
Watson?
Looking at the running backs you have, I like that deal.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Traded Montgomery and Mark Andrews for Tyreek Hill. Totally fine with that as long as you have a fine tight end and good running back depth. But that's the bigger question there.
We had that big conversation about Tyreek.
Was there any stats you wanted to tell us about? You said you were looking at cool stats.
No, I just wanted to see what Alvin Kamara did with Kendre Miller and everyone else. Last week against Houston, 80% of the snap share. Kendre Miller only 22. Does Kendre and Jamal split now? The week before in week 5 with Alvin Kamara, 63% against New England, but that was blowout. Do you get what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I think he's going to still see at least 75+% of the snap share, which I think is still really comfortable for a high fantasy game coming in this week. So I wouldn't be worried about Jamal Williams personally.
We did just get a super chat, so let's get to that straight away. Thank you for the donation. Joe, he says, Latavius Murray, Keontae Ingram, Shaheed, or Slayton? I'll start with the first one. I would go Keontae, just because from what we saw last week, he was leading that backfield, even though it was a disgusting split. And then with Shaheed or Slayton,
It's not exciting. Let me tell you that.
the thing with Shaheed is he's either boom or bust. There's no in between.
Yeah.
There really
And
is no in between.
And with Slayton, it's just bust.
Okay, so we're going Shaheed, right?
Yeah, I am going Shaheed. The one thing I would say as a Giants fan, Slayton normally has those bigger, longer, deep ball catches that can be chunk yards. He can easily catch a ball, get you 6 points, and then, maybe he catches three or four other passes, and maybe he gets you 9 points.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you need, right?
What we do
anything
know
can
is
happen.
that Shaheed has scored over 18 points in 2 games, and Slayton only has 1 over 10. So that's what we know.
Exactly.
It's tough,
That's what
tough
we
call. Thank you for the donation, man. By the way, over 100
Appreciate
people
you.
watching the stream. Guys, we're going to be live all the way up until kickoff. Can you do us a favor? Go ahead and smash that like button. Simple way
Here
for
we
you to
go.
help this little humble channel grow, okay? So go ahead, hit the like button, help us grow, and we're going to answer your questions. Super chats get prioritized. Mr. Gooner Gaming,
Gunnar Gaiman.
I got
know
offered
you.
ETN and CD for Puka and Mostert. I'll take the ETN and CD side in a heartbeat.
ETC Pocket, yeah, completely agree.
Love that, Donald. PK says half PPR, traded away Mostert and Ridley, received Cooper and Swift. I like that as well.
Yeah, I have a chain IR spot. Yeah, I
Yes,
love it.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Aspect says, do I start Addison, Flowers, or Ridley? Really close, man. I could see any one of these 3 coming out on top. There's a very high range of outcomes, but it would be Ridley for me if I had to choose one.
None of these guys really have good matchups. Lions are really good against the pass. So are the Chiefs, and so are the Saints. I think it just depends on what you need.
Well, Addison faces the Niners, but I hear you. Like, you
Sorry.
probably meant them, right?
Yeah, the Niners. Excuse me.
You're
So,
right,
like,
though.
they're all-
There's no, like, clear great matchup here.
Yeah, there's no clear game matchup. I would say this. I don't think we had this question with all 3 of these guys. What do you need? I think really is a bit questionable coming in. If I'm looking at all 3 of these guys, I
You
feel
mean
like
his
somebody.
upside, right? Not his, like, health.
Yeah, like his questionable. Yeah, with his upside, I feel like Flowers and Addison have a safer floor. But if I had to choose between Flowers and Addison, I feel like Addison has the higher ceiling because of how good the 49ers are probably going to, like how often the 49ers are going to score.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's a different conversation. Hopefully that helps.
It's a tough one,
Aspect.
man. Good luck. We did just get a donation from Colin, so let's get to that straight away. He says, Lawrence or Hal? I'm going Hal. I don't know about you, but I'm going Hal.
Yeah, we had this question. We had this question earlier, man.
I think you got to be a little critical with quarterbacks. It's a tough matchup for Hal, for Lawrence, and he's dealing with the knee. Yeah, it's close, but I'll go Hal.
Look, yeah, it is close. I personally would say Trevor Lawrence. But it is tough. But I won't be upset if you start Hal Collins.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps.
Rolando says, sit 1, Samuel Pittman, Rice. This would be Rice, then Palmer or Michael Thomas. Palmer.
Agreed.
Is Calvin really a solid flex option? Depending on your options, right? Yes. There's plenty of 12-man leagues where he's starting for me. Should I drop Warren for Spears?
I think Spears should be rostered if Derrick Henry gets traded.
I could easily see Warren, his role growing a lot this year. But if Derrick Henry gets traded, Tajay becomes a top 24 guy rest of the year. So, yeah, I guess
and they might try new
Spears.
stuff. They're going to try new stuff with Tannehill being injured. It's going to be a crazy couple of weeks for that team. So hopefully that helps. Jake, Michael Thomas or Curtis Samuel this week. Curtis Samuel for the both of us. Hopefully that helps. Def Lord, is it worth holding on Derrick Henry because the Titans are seriously trading talks? I think it is worth it because if he does go to a team that is going to give him the opportunity, sure, but we just don't know. And you can't really trade him away for anything, so you're going to have to hold him.
I'm willing to explore trade options, but again, like Badaki said, it depends on what you could get from him. You know what the worst case scenario is, Badaki? He's on bye this week. He gets traded to a team where he's on bye next week or week 8 or week 9, and you're like, oh, fuck,
Yeah.
Anyway, Dynasty, what should we be getting back for Zach Moss? I wouldn't expect you to get any more than a second rounder back. And I personally would not send a second, but I would expect a second in return. Maybe that's hypocritical, but do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I get you. Like right now, I'd say
I really
You know-
still hold the belief that he has no value when Jonathan Taylor is healthy. Not none, but like he's as valuable as you view Tyler Algier, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. A second, and I would say this: be okay having a third. If someone sends you like 2/3,
Okay, yeah, I'll take 2/3.
I'm happy with that as well because there's no way Zach Moss is going to be part of this offense in the next 3 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps. The Chad.
Chad.
Should I start Hollywood or Jacoby Myers in a flex? Wow. Let's start off there. That is crazy. That's such a good question. Jacoby Myers.
They're back to back in my rankings. They both have incredible matchups.
Exactly.
I think Jacoby for me, but
yeah, I was gonna go
it's so
Jacoby.
close.
You know what? I think I might go with the team that might have to score more.
Okay, that makes sense.
The Cardinals are going to compete.
Yeah,
with
I think
the
that makes
Seahawks.
sense.
So give me Hollywood. As much as I love Jacoby, because I can see the Raiders. This could be a Josh Jacobs game, right?
Could be, yeah.
Anyways, also have Kyler and have more trade value than Deontay.
And
Does
does
Kyler have more
Kyler
trade
have
value?
more? Yeah.
Yeah.
In one quarterback leagues, no, I wouldn't think
Yeah.
so. But it depends on how your league values quarterbacks. What we've learned this year is every league is quite different in how they value quarterbacks. But most of our competitive ones don't really look at trading for them. Fourth and Schlong. Get your big Schlong out. Sup, big dogs.
You love it.
Need everyone to smash that like button, he says. Appreciate you, man. Also, if I need a tight end to stream, Mayor Ertz, Higbee, Logan. Mayor Ertz, Higbee, Logan. Like, this is genuinely like flip a coin into the wishing well and try and find it again type vibes. Blindfolded.
I have two. Hopefully that helps to eliminate the two I would have would be Mayor and Logan. Historically, the Giants against the tight ends have been terrible.
Okay.
No matter who it is. So in this scenario, I'll go Logan Thomas.
Same.
But Michael Mayer is a close second.
At least we're same in our answer, so hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah.
Laurent Saint Laurent.
Saint Laurent.
Should I trade Kelsey for Hawkinson and ETN? Whew.
Kelsey for Hawkinson and Travis?
Oh wow.
Yes, I'm doing that. If I'm getting
I
TJ
just don't
Hawkinson and
want-
Travis Etienne,
Yeah, I think you should. Yes, you absolutely you 1000% should. I just don't want to not have Travis Kelsey on my teams, but you 1000% should. Rashad White or Stevenson? It would be Stevenson for me this week.
yes, Ramondre for me.
Crystal says, "Hey guys, pick one wide receiver, a running back, and a flex. Well, you got to start Ayuk for sure. If you got to start a running back here, it would be Mostert, and then if you need to flex one of these guys, it would
Zaza.
be.
It's gonna be Zaza or Gibbs. Wow,
I was gonna say Pacheco.
that could work too.
It would be Pacheco for me. Love his matchup, and that dude is a
Against the
key piece of the
Chargers?
offense now. He's averaging over 18 touches a game. I can freely say I had no expectations for him to average 18 touches per game, but that's the reality we currently live in. Maybe in an alternate universe that doesn't happen, but this is the timeline we're in.
I'll rock with you. Have CMC and St. Brown and my wide receivers and running. This is what I would say. If CMC doesn't play, you start Pacheco,
And then you flex Flowers.
and then you flex Flowers. Hopefully that
Correct.
helps,
Yeah.
Crystal. Patrick, full PPR pick 3. Puka, Olave, DK, really Watson. It would be Puka, Olave, and
It's
Red-
DK for me over really this
Really
week
a
because of the
DK?
matchup. Yeah. Because of the
I
matchup.
still have really over, but I hear you.
It's a great
can
matchup for
understand.
DK. He's due for a boom game. It's close.
I hear you. Muffin. Should I trade
Muffin
Terry
Man?
and Damian Pierce for T. Higgins? I feel like that's a little bit too much. I don't know.
You got to get something back in return there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking for another piece there.
You get a
yes.
Tajay or, what we were talking about earlier, or a
Is it a Warren or
Algier
something?
or a Warren or even a Zeke, a Gibson.
I mean, I think Damian is worth a little bit more than that
Fair.
personally.
Okay. I'm not a Damian guy, but
Yeah.
Or
I don't
Jaleel.
I don't love it.
Jaleel would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Jaleel or Rashad White. I'm thinking,
I think that's too much.
those are the names I think of. Alexander Madison.
Mm.
But that's where we see.
Dude, for as much hate as Alexander Madison has gotten, and I know I really liked him coming into the year, but we're looking at the RB17 this year.
Yeah, it hasn't been. Look, it hasn't been terrible. And
if you
really
put
helped
his
him
numbers
as
on
well-
Joe Mixon, no one's even talking about it. Truly,
Well, Joe Mixon is.
he's better. He's been better than Joe Mixon this year.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I think he got when Cam came in, it hurt him, but when JJ went down, it helped him significantly.
I don't know,
So,
dude. I feel like if they thought Cam was a better player, he would be playing by now.
Yeah, and I agree. But he has couple tough match. Well,
He does.
It's a tough matchup this week
Yeah.
against the 49ers. So
Is
we'll wait and
Lawrence
see what
suiting up?
happens.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
Is Kyler Murray a trade piece if you own an elite level quarterback? Max, when he starts performing, yes. But right now, I doubt you could get a ton of value.
Yeah, I would agree. Hold until he starts playing. When he starts, he probably, drops 22. You maybe have Josh Allen, Hurts, a Tua, a Patrick, a Herbert, a Burrow. Sell him.
Start cashing in. El Tigre with a donation. He says,
doing,
Chiefs,
brother?
best record in the NFL, Miami dividends. You love to see it. I know a good man when I see him. That's El Tigre right there.
El Tigre with the Chiefs, little Chiefs.
I love it.
Little Chiefs boys coming together.
Yeah, let's do it, baby. Why not us? Every year they just give us some sort of bulletin board
not us?
material,
Tyreek Hill, he's gone.
Brandon Harris says, hey guys, got to drop one to the waiver wire to pick up Jefferson. Shut up.
It doesn't matter. I
Brandon.
don't care who you drop. You do it.
How is
don't
Justin
care.
Jefferson on the waiver wire?
You drop Rashid, to be honest.
You drop Shaheed, but if you're in a fab league, I would blow as much fab as I possibly could to get him, to secure him. Like, what is this league doing? That is chaos. If Justin Jefferson dropped in one of our leagues, Badaki, it would be chaos.
I think the first thing we would say would be like, "Are you?"
Did you make a mistake?
Yeah. Did you want to do this?
Yeah.
we're too nice sometimes.
Yeah.
Alfonso Rodriguez Jr. What a name. Someone is offering me DJ Moore for Brees Hall. What are your thoughts? I would say if you are in dire need of a running back and you have good wide receiver depth, I'm okay doing this. I think I'm doing it regardless.
I want Brees, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing this regardless. Because how bad this running back year is so far. Zachary.
Hey, Zachary.
Someone just sent me a trade. They want Diggs for Keenan and Brees. Should I do it?
Give me Keenan and Brees in a heartbeat.
My running backs. Yeah, 100%. Keenan and Brees. Don't overthink it. Perfect Dawn. Jordan Addison or Drake Standard. This is where I would go Jordan Addison based off the touchdowns.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He has been averaging more touchdowns so far this year.
We
appreciate you.
Just got a donation from Mev. Appreciate you. Thanks for the dono. He says, T-Law or Carr? This is where I would go Trevor. I just think he has the higher upside with the weapon room that he's got over there. But it's close, man. It is close. And Carr's been better in the last couple weeks, but Trevor for me.
Yeah, just dump it off to Alvin. Here we go. Back to the top here. PPR League pick 2 out of 3. Stevenson, White, Devonta Smith. I will be Stevenson and Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Patrick scraping at running backs. Hunt, McLaughlin, Edwards. Okay. Pick 1. For me, it would be
Hunt.
I would say if Roscoe doesn't play, I'm going Foreman.
Okay, that makes sense.
With confidence.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with you there. Hunt if Rashawn plays for me.
Yeah, he said trying to trade a handcuff for Ford, would he be above all of them?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, Ford would confidently be ahead of all those options for me this week.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be trading. I mean, I'll trade McLaughlin.
He said he's trading a handcuff for him though. I got no problem with that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But Terry or Kirk, possibly Curtis. So which one? Okay, so you're asking should you start Terry or Christian Kirk? I'll be going Christian Kirk
for me. Yeah.
But is it if you're asking Curtis Samuel or Christian Kirk?
I think like of the 3, choose one.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Jordan Addison or Christian? I think we answered this.
Be Kirk for us. We just got a donation, so let's get to that straight away. Thank you, Joe, for your donation. Flex Shaheed or Moss? And man, it would be awesome to know what sort of information we need to answer this question. You know, what do the coaching staff say about JT? Because honestly, guys, I know we sound like a broken record, but when JT is full go, no limitations, you do not want to start Moss anymore. We don't know if that's this week, though.
We saw that drop off too in the snap percentages.
Yeah.
I mean, 98, 76, 83, 80, and then he went to 50.
Yeah, but what was his usage though? I mean, yeah, so he only had 14 touches last week.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I'm going Shaheed here. But he was targeted 7 times.
Yeah.
Good God. I think you have to go Moss, but
I'm going Moss, even though we haven't gotten the report that JT is going to be 100%.
That's tough, man. That is tough.
We'll wait and see.
Good luck. Honestly, good luck. That's tough.
Yeah. We got another super chat here. He said, JMO, Reed, Moss, Hunt at the flex, tough spot in Dynasty. For me, this would be Kareem Hunt.
Yeah. Unless you need some sort of ridiculous upside, then Jameson. But in most scenarios, Kareem Hunt. But thank you so much for the donation, man. We are answering questions all the way up until kickoff. Do us a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button, guys. We are only 27 likes away from 100. So if you haven't hit the like button, you could help us reach that century mark. Smash that like button. We're answering questions in order. Super chats are the only questions that get answered straight away. The Muffin Man says, for flex, Keontae or KJ Osborne, I'll go Osborne.
Agreed.
Armando says Lawrence or Stafford. This would be...
Oh, excuse me.
I
think they both have tough matchups here. I'm going Matthew Stafford, though. I
Same.
feel more confident in Stafford.
Yeah, I agree.
Ingram, Zeke, Hill, or Latavius. I think it'll be Ingram for us.
Wait. You skipped Alfonso's question.
No, Armando had a second part of that question. He said, and Keontae, Zeke, Hill, or...
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was saying I think it would be Hill for both of us. Or Ingram, excuse me.
Oh, where are we right now? Who are you answering?
The guy before. The Armando.
Oh, okay, my bad. My bad, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, Alfonso.
Yeah, we already answered Alfonso's, my bad. We said Breece Hall.
Agreed. Okay, awesome. Next one is T-Man, Gibbs, and Jamar for CD in London. If you need a running back, I'm okay with Gibbs and Jamar. But if you're good at the running back position and you feel pretty confident with your depth, I'm taking CD in London. That's the way I would approach this. MM.
In all caps, so you have to read this in all caps. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Trade Devonta Smith and Rashawn Johnson for Aaron Jones and Josh Downs. Trade Devonta Smith and Rashawn Johnson for Aaron Jones and Josh Downs.
Yeah, I'll take Aaron Jones' side. And that's not because I don't think Devonta Smith is going to be much better rest of the year. It's because I think Aaron Jones is going to be incredible the rest of the year.
I would say the same thing as I said to, T-Man. What do you need? Do you need Aaron Jones badly because your running back room is hurting? Because if Aaron Jones is just going to be, your third, fourth type of running back, I'm happy to keep Roscoe and Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Drop Chubb or KJ.
Chuba,
sorry. Or KJ for Seattle's defense. Don't want to drop either of them.
If I had to, KJ, because wide receivers are easier to find.
Okay, what's the question here? Traded Mahomes, Pittman, Mondre for Herbert and Adams. Traded Mondre and Pittman were right in my bench most of the year. Now Adams is in the flex alongside. Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as
I'm
well.
fine with it.
John White, Curtis Samuel.
Yep, agreed.
Andrew said Purdy. I guess so.
Jags start this week, yeah.
Raiders defense.
Raiders.
I'm gonna be Raiders. Lawrence or Stafford, we answered that. I traded Alvin Kamara or Tony Pollard for Tony Pollard. Did I win or lose this trade? I want Tony Pollard long term.
Yeah, same. I agree.
AJ Starr, if the Porter is out, start Mayer, Muth, Musgrave, Everett, Jonnu.
I don't think he's gonna miss. I haven't heard anything.
I don't think he's gonna miss either. I think you start Laporta. If Laporta doesn't play,
Musgrave.
Man, I don't. Yeah, it'd be Musgrave or really close with Pat the Dragon.
Yeah. Are you can we talk quickly about Pat? Just like Twitter version. What's your confidence? Because I have him in a league, and before the year, I would consider him my clear best option. But I mean, the guy, even in games when he's been healthy, is not getting any targets. It is really tough to trust him. He's averaging, what is it right now? He's averaging 3 targets a game.
Yeah, look, it's definitely not exciting. But I think I'm going based off talent in this scenario.
Yeah.
The Rams actually do give up the 3rd most points to the tight
Good
end
matchup
position.
for sure.
So I think they can easily get him incorporated in this game. So I think that's why I'm leading him, talent and based off matchup. So hopefully that helps. Next question here: should I trade Waddle and Mixon for Bijan and Devonta Smith? I want Bijan and Devonta Smith
In a heartbeat.
Pick one running back, one flex. Ford, Stevenson, Gibbs, Cooper. It'll be Stevenson and Cooper for me.
Gibbs if he
Ford
plays.
Oh, Ford is interesting as well. With Gibbs.
For me,
Yeah,
Gibbs if Gibbs plays, Gibbs and Cooper.
You know what? I'll rock there with you. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs and Cooper. Musgrave or Thomas. I'm going Logan Thomas this week.
Okay, yeah.
I said these guys. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you. Big M just made a trade. I got Chris Olave, George Kittle, and Jerry Jeudy, and gave Lockett, Laporta, and Jerome Ford. What do you think? Chris Olave, George Kittle, Jerry Jeudy, and gave Lockett, Laporta, and Jerome. Give me Lockett, Laporta, and Jerome. What is Jerry Jeudy? What is Jerry Jeudy?
I think context is really important there, but Laporta, man, this question could look so different in 3 weeks, but
yeah, especially
Laporta looks like a star right now.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua says, "Good Lord, dude on the left, fine as hell."
That's you, by the way.
Funny. Is that me? When are you looking? When you're looking at the screen?
I'm looking at the screen, and you're on the left.
Yeah. What's up? It's one compliment. Just has no idea how to handle himself.
What's up?
Anyway, Justice Hill or Zach Evans this week. That is a tough one, man. From what I currently know, it would be Zach Evans. I'd rather have Evans than Hill.
I'd rather have Evans and Hill as well, with the opportunities I'm hoping Zach Evans gets.
If news comes out that he's not the starter, that changes. But
I
as
agree.
of right now, Evans. But thank you.
I would agree.
Big M says,
Fun as hell, yeah.
What's up? I have Amari Cooper and T. Higgins and Chris Olave with Jamar at the 1. Should I try and package my wide receiver 2 for a wide receiver 2 to play with Jamar? I'm really trying to understand this question. I have Amari, Higgins, Olave with Jamar as the 1. Should I try and package my wide receiver 2 for a wide receiver 2 to play with Jamar?
Right. So he has T. Higgins. So you're asking, should you trade away T. Higgins since you have Jamar and T to get another wide receiver 2?
Totally down to do that, but you are in the worst time right now to actually get a trade like that done. Like, I don't think you get the value you need right now.
Yeah, I would agree there.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Sweet Teabag says, in Superflex, traded Bryce Young and got Watson. I like it. Yeah, I like it. I do think Bryce is going to be better rest of the year, but I do like that trade. Eric says, PPR have to sit 1 Ridley, Pittman, Myers, Evans, London. The sit for me would be...
for me, it would be Pittman. But,
Evans for me.
Yeah, it would be Pittman for me.
Very close. Tough call. Guys, we'll be live for the next 3 minutes, okay?
Here we go.
So we're not going to be able to get to every question, unfortunately. We're trying our best, but keep in mind, Super Chat is an option if you are completely desperate. But 3 minutes we're going to give you here. Braxy says, need a flex, Deontay or Zach? Deontay. Heatwave says, need 2 running backs to start. Taylor, Brian Robinson, Aaron Jones. This would be Taylor and Aaron. Actually, sorry, this would be Brian and Aaron Jones for me.
Brian and Aaron Jones? Okay. I'm going Taylor and Aaron Jones.
Okay.
But also, what's the context? Did we get that message? We wait and see.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Ocho says, I traded Kamara for Pollard. We want Pollard. Jake says, counter offered the Watson for Kirk trade with Godwin for Watson, and he accepted. That's great. I like Watson there. Robert says, full PPR, super flex 2 quarterback. Is it safe to start Carr, Olave, and Trevor Lawrence? Carl Olave and Trevor Lawrence. I mean, yeah, if that's your best options, Robert, then that's fine in a 2-quarterbacker. We did just get a donation from Mike, so we'll get to this straight away before we end the stream.
GP.
He says PPR running backs are Bijan, Kamara, Warren, Rashawn Reynolds, wide receiver. And he says, would you trade away Warren, Osborne, Rice for Amari? Warren, Osborne, Rice for Amari. So if he loses Warren, because that's what I'm thinking about here, he still has Bijan, Kamara, Rashawn. If those three stay healthy, it's a yes for me. Of course, we cannot predict the future, but I'm happy with an upgrade to Amari with Watson coming back soon.
Yeah, I would say this, Mike. With Reynolds being somebody that could take the lead back this week, maybe try and sell that narrative. I doubt you can do it, but try and sell it first. Try and sell Reynolds before Warren.
Makes sense.
But I'm happy with the trade as well this week.
Yes.
Or as well, long term.
Yes. Okay. I think we have time for one more question. Joseph says, would you trade Mixon for Hollywood Brown and Josh Downs in a 14-man full PPR? My other running backs are Etienne and Madison. My wide receivers are Tyreek Pickens and Jigba Shaheed and Zay Jones. I personally think in a 14-manner, if you're going to lose Mixon and have to rely on Madison, that doesn't feel very good to me.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I would rather be trying to trade Madison for a lower tier wide receiver.
You need to change Downs out to like a handcuff running back at worst.
Yeah, I would agree there. Don't love it. Don't love it. I think Mixon will be better as well.
Yeah.
Coming in, we did get another super chat here.
Yeah, I see it. Just no question. So type your question for us real quick, man. Oh, he says Deontay Johnson or Ridley. We're going Calvin Ridley this week, but of course it's going to be good to see Deontay out there. Absolute best of luck to you, and thank you for the donation. That is it for today, guys. We got to go watch this game. Good luck. Hopefully whatever you need to happen happens. I'm sorry if we led you in the wrong way at all for this Thursday night matchup. Let's see. But best of luck. Go get a win. We'll see you soon. All love.
Love, 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 love.